What's up, everybody? I want to first start off by wishing everyone a happy 2021. Hopefully this year brings everyone a bit more run good. The hands that we're going to get into today are pretty fun and interesting, to say the least. But before we hop into the poker, just want to share a few updates and announcements. As you may know, a big reason I got into poker vlogging was because I wanted to contribute back to the poker community by way of providing hopefully entertaining and educational content. I know poker players, many of you that watch this channel come from different backgrounds in poker, whether you're someone newer or have been playing for a while. And I've had an opportunity to touch base with the team at Magpie Playing Cards. They've created a poker deck that is geared towards newer players, and it's got some great features. For starters, you're getting the same great bendy plastic cards that you do with co-paid cards. The jokers have been replaced with poker hand ranking charts. Last but not least, each card in the deck actually has a pro tip or a definition printed on them. And that makes it great for both educational purposes and entertainment value. And yeah, highly recommend checking these cards out. They've actually got their Kickstarter starting off today, so I'll put the info in the description box below. Although I do have a sample deck in hand, I'm actually gonna be purchasing a couple of these myself. I've got friends that always ask me about how to play poker, and I'm not exactly the best person to teach newer people in the game. So these cards are gonna help me a lot, and they're gonna make for some good gifts for other people that are looking to get into poker. So make sure to check this all out. And as you know, I don't really ever mention products or services on my channel unless it's something that I actually like and use. And this is one of the few things that I like and use. Just a couple more quick updates. I recently picked up a new vlogging camera, the Sony ZV-1. I've been using the DJI Osmo Pocket for a majority of my recording the last year plus, and I'm happy to have a new camera in the arsenal. I look forward to filming new content, continuing to try to enhance the quality going forward as we're in 2021. And last update, I'll actually be playing poker at Thunder Valley Casino on Thursday, January 28th through Friday, January 29th. It's a property that's roughly 30 minutes from Sacramento. So if any of you are in the area and want to play some poker, I look forward to possibly meeting you and chatting it up and playing some poker with you all. So that's gonna wrap it up for all the updates, and let's get into the poker. All right, it's a Saturday back here at the California Grand Casino. Wanted to break up the monotony of always going to Lucky Chances and get a change of scenery again. It's currently around 4 o'clock and there's only 1, 2, 3, 5 game running. So it's probably gonna be a little bit of a wait. I don't know if they're gonna spread a second table. And they've actually started the curfew out here, and the property is gonna close at 10 p.m. So not gonna play too long, but gonna try to hop in there sooner rather than later, get you some hands. And I'm with my buddy again, Kevin. He's gonna hop into the 2-3 game and hope we both run it up. All right, just closing things out from California Grand. Played several hours, and this was a very interesting session. So let's just jump into the hands. All right, we're playing 2-3-5 no limit, but because we were playing short-handed to start 5 ways, it's actually a 2-5 game. I raised it to $20 from the under the gun / hijack position with pocket queens and only the small blind calls. Heads up to a flop of 10-10-9 two-tone. When small blind checks, I check it back for deception. Turn comes a 5 of hearts. He checks, I bet $25, and he makes the call. The river comes another 10, and when he checks, I go for a pot size bet of $100. He doesn't think too long and makes the call. I table and take it down. This next one is 4-handed, still playing 2-5. Cutoff limps. I'm on the button with pocket kings and raise it to $20. And I get 2 callers, the big blind and cutoff. 3 ways to a flop of Jack 6 deuce rainbow. Action checks to me. I see bet $30 and both players fold. So no real action here, but nice to pick up a couple premiums to start off the session. 4-handed again, small blind raises to $20. I call from the big blind with the computer hand suited in diamonds. Heads up to the flop of 6-6-5 with 2 hearts. He c-bets $25. I call with some backdoor possibilities. Turn comes another 5. He bets $30 with a little over $200 back. I should probably find a raise here to blow him off his hand, but I decide to just let it go. This next hand is perhaps the most fun and adventurous one of the session. We're back to 5-handed, still playing 2-5. I raise it to $15 from the button with King Jack of diamonds and only the small blind calls. Heads up to a flop of Queen 5-3 Rainbow, so I flop some good backdoor possibilities. He leads for $20 and I decide to float. Turn comes an 8 of clubs and he keeps firing, this time for $45. And although I don't pick up any additional equity, he just doesn't feel that strong. And so it's just a matter of if I want to try to steal this hand here or on the river. I opt for the latter and make the call. River comes a deuce of clubs, which completes backdoor clubs, so a lot of different hands to represent in this spot. He bets $65, triple barreling, and now I decide to put in a raise to $300. He tanks for a while and ultimately settles on a call. I table my hand and he shows ace-4 of spades for the rivered wheel. So my thought process wasn't too off in this one, but I just picked the wrong street to make a play and lose this one. This next hand is six-handed, so we're playing 1-3-5 now. I raise it to $20 from the hijack with ace-queen of spades and both blinds call. Three ways to a flop of king jack 5 with 2 clubs, so I flop a gutter ball on a flush draw board. Checks to me, I c-bet $30, small blind folds, big blind calls. Turn comes an ace of clubs, so I make top pair, but it completes the front door flush. Big blind checks, and I check it back for pot control. River comes a deuce of diamonds. He leads for $100, and I don't feel great about it, but I make the call. He tables jack 9 of clubs for the turn flush and takes this one down. We're now playing 7-handed, so it's 2-3-5. Low jack and hijack limp. I raise it to $30 from the button with king queen off suit, and I get 3 callers, the small blind, low jack, and hijack. 4 ways to a flop of 7-7-4 with 2 clubs. Action checks through. Turn comes another 7, and when small blind checks, low jack bets $50. I decide to get a little bit frisky and put in the raise to $130, as I've got the overpair range advantage. And I keep it a relatively small sizing, as I could and would do with hands such as queens plus. Small blind folds, low jack calls, and I'm prepared to bomb the river to put a lot of pressure on small pairs. Well, the river card is the most interesting one that could come, which is the 7 of diamonds. So now ace high is the nuts. When he checks, I no longer have to bluff in this spot. I check, table my hand, and it's good. Low jack claims to have pocket 4s. We're playing fully 8-handed. Hijack raises to $20. Only I make the call from the button with jack 10 off suit. Heads up to a flop of queen 9 deuce rainbow. He c-bets $25. I call with the open-ended straight draw. Turn comes a 7 of spades, putting up a backdoor flush draw. He continues betting for $45, still giving me a good price to just try and realize in position. And we're both playing pretty deep at over 1k effective. I make the call. River comes a 3 of diamonds, so I brick out. And when he checks, I'm not going to stab here, as I think I'm just going to get called too often based on his line work. So I check it back. He tables, pocket aces. So I lose this one, but I had a fighting chance. So earlier in the session, I tried to make an adventurous play with the king jack suited hand. Well, this next one is just as fun and interesting. It's a straddle pot. I raise it to $35 from the hijack with jack 10 off suit, and I get 3 callers, the cutoff, big blind, and straddler. 4 ways to a flop of queen 5 deuce rainbow. Action checks through. Turn comes a queen of spades, so it pairs the queen and puts up a backdoor flush draw. Checks to me, and I decide to bet as I block some queen X holdings. Cutoff folds, big blind calls, and straddler folds. Heads up to a river of a 5 of hearts, double pairing the board, and it gets interesting as big blind bets $125. So I rule out a queen immediately, unless he had played it super tricky. The only 5 that makes sense is 5x of spades, but does he really just bet that hand on the river? And while jack high is typically just a fold, I mull it over for a bit. A hero call would obviously look stupid if he has a bricked ace high or king high flush draw, but I just feel that he's also got a ton of small flush draws that missed, and even a hand like 3-4 for a missed straight draw. So after some deliberation, I decided to make a call that I haven't made for several years now. The last time I called down someone with jack high was at Bay 101 and was correct. I decided to toss in the call. He mucks his hand. I table my hand just to show that I call with jack high. He doesn't make any attempt to retrieve his card, so jack high is good in this one, and I take it down. This next hand, hijack opens it up to a pretty large size of $35. Only I call from the small blind with king 10 of diamonds. Heads up to a flop of queen 10-3 with 2 hearts. Action checks through. Turn comes a deuce of clubs. He bets $45, and it's a good hand to bluff catch with second pair, blocking queen X holdings and unblocking hearts, so I make the call. River comes a 7 of clubs. I check. He checks back and tables a7 of spades, so I take this one down. Seven-handed now. Same player from the previous hand raises it big again to $45 from under the gun. I call from the cutoff with queen 10 of diamonds. Button calls as well. We go 3 ways to a flop of ace jack deuce with 2 spades and a diamond. Action checks through. Turn comes a queen of clubs. Under the gun checks. Given the action, there's not a whole lot to be afraid of, but I decide to bet $60 for a bit of value and denial, and both players release their hands. Last interesting hand to note, 7-handed, low jack raises to $30. I'm in the hijack with pocket kings and 3-bet it to $100, and only the low jack makes the call. Heads up to a flop of 9-8-6 monotone all hearts. He's playing roughly $600 back, and I don't mind playing for stacks here given this action and board texture. He checks, I bet $100, and he just snap folds, so take it down with pocket kings. Alright, so that wraps it up for the notable hands played. Got into some very interesting spots tonight. Some bluffs that didn't work out, a hero call that did work out, and a little bit of everything in between. So, was in the game for $1,300, was stuck $400 at the worst point, and ultimately cashed out $1,533. So, was able to turn it around and book a $233 winning session. And that's gonna wrap it up for this video. As always, thanks for watching, subscribing, liking, all that good stuff, and I'll see you all on the next one.